Hello, I am the TheMysticGardevoir, and welcome, my friends, as we venture into the world of Pokemon. Before we begin, I'd like to go over what exactly I'm going to be doing for this playthrough. This is a FireRed randomized Nuzlocke, specifically a Wedlocke. For those of you who don't know, a Nuzlocke follows a set of rules that go outside of the norm for most Pokemon playthroughs. The rules are usually pretty simple. I'll just go over them very quickly. Rule number 1 for a Nuzlocke, you're only allowed one encounter per route. So for example, I find a Pidgey on Route 1 and I fail to capture it, or I knock it out before I can capture it, I'm not allowed to capture any Pokemon for the rest of Route 1, regardless of what I run into. However, when I reach Route 2 and I run into, say, another Pidgey, I am allowed to catch that Pidgey. If I do so, then I cannot catch anything for the rest of the route. However, failure to do so results in the same thing. I'm unable to catch any Pokemon for the rest of that route. Rule 2, all Pokemon must be nicknamed. This is to form a closer bond with your Pokemon rather than simple bits of data. And the last rule, and the most important rule, I'd say, if a Pokemon faints in battle, that Pokemon is considered dead. That Pokemon cannot come back from the dead to battle. It is deceased. In some cases, that Pokemon is released. In others, it is just put into a dead box. For this run, I will actually be putting them in a dead box because I'm going to make an exception rule in that they can become TM slaves later on. This is just to prevent me from getting stuck, as FireRed does require your use of TMs and HMs, I should say, to get through the game. But as I stated, I'm going to be doing a special Nuzlocke, this one called a Wedlocke. So Wedlocke has a few rules of its own. For the Wedlocke, rule number 1 states, my team must consist of 3 couples, that is, 3 males and 3 females, or some combination using genderless Pokemon, males and females. Rule number 2, Pokemon can only battle if they are married. So, to be used in trainer battles or gym battles, a Pokemon must be married. If that Pokemon is single, he or she can only come out to battle to be wed, that is, to capture its mate. And rule number 3, these Pokemon are linked. If one were to, say, die in mid-battle, its wed partner must come out to avenge it regardless of typing, leveling, or any other condition. And a Pokemon can only remarry once. That is to say, if I have a Pidgey and a Rattata that are married, and Pidgey dies in battle, Rattata comes out and avenges it. Now Rattata is allowed to remarry, so if on the next route I find the opposite gender, I am able, in fact, to capture that to make it Rattata's mate. However, if that mate dies, Rattata is unable to battle and must be boxed. So this is to add both a little bit of difficulty and some interesting tidbits. I believe that this will be different from runs previously done, and I think you will all enjoy it. But enough of me rambling on. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the FireRed Wedlocke Randomizer. Hello everyone, I'm the TheMysticGardevoir, and welcome. Welcome to Pokemon FireRed, the randomized Wedlocke. Why don't we go ahead and jump right in? As you know, this is in fact our first video, so I want to thank everyone who's here joining us right now. And to those who join us later on down the line, welcome all the same. Hello there. Glad to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People affectionately refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited far and wide by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for battling.
As for myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. But first, tell me a little about yourself. Now, tell me, are you a boy or are you a girl? Let's begin with your name. What is it?
We are known as Mystic. Which, if I could spell, would be wonderful.
Right, so your name is Mystic. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you both were babies. What was his name now? Age is certainly getting to me.
He is known by our fair brother's name, Hero.
Oh, was it Hero? That's right, I remember now. His name is Hero. Mystic, your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventure with Pokemon awaits. Let's go!
Ah, home sweet home. Now, the reason I chose to start with a Randomizer and a Nuzlocke is actually very, very simple. I have been a fan of Pokemon since Gen 1, as I said. Or I may not have said. I may have forgotten to say, but I have been a fan since Gen 1. But Gen 3 is probably tied for my favorite with Gen 6. So Gen 3 and 6 are my absolute favorites. Right, before we go anywhere, I should remember to change the options to speed things up a bit. First off, text speed should be fast, battle scene on, and battle style. Normally I would run shift. However, since this is going to be something I do with a little added difficulty, I'm going to put it to set. And screen type 2, because it reminds me of red and blue. That's an unintentional rhyme. So, the beginning of the game is a little bit slow for those of you who aren't familiar with Gen 1 or Gen 1's remake here in Gen 3.
It's unsafe. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me.
Now, I'm going to be using the speed up button as little as possible. However, for scenes like this, you may see me speed up the game just a little bit. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting.
Hero, well, let me think. Oh, that's right. I told you to come. Just wait. Here, Mystic. There are 3 Pokemon here. The Pokemon are held inside these Pokeballs. When I was young, I was a serious Pokemon trainer. But now, in my old age, I have only these 3 left. You can have one. Go on, choose.
Hey, Gramps, no fair. What about me?
Be patient, Hero. You can have one too.
Yes, Hero, be patient. So, I did mention that this was randomized. This includes our starters. So let's see what the randomizing gods have kindly left us. A Mareep. Not bad. Slack off. I'm not too happy about that. And a Ghastly. Now, I should mention that abilities have been randomized, so technically this Slack off or slacking, as it would become, would be amazing. And because of the randomizer, I am actually able to get a Gengar without having to trade. So the question becomes, what do I want to run? Well, to be quite frank, if I choose Ghastly, my rival will choose Mareep. If I remember right, because that's Squirtle, right? No, that's Charmander. So if I choose that, he'll choose Slacken. So the question becomes, do I get trapped if I choose the Ghost or Normal type? I suppose we'll find out. I'm going to go with Ghastly here. Here we go. Ghastly is our very first Pokemon. Would you like to nickname the Ghastly? As per Wedlocke rules, and Nuzlocke rules for that matter, yes I do. Now, it's a female Ghastly. And I am a fan of Gengar. I believe I'm gonna name her Gangal. Gangal. There we go. And he's going to go ahead and choose that one. Now, to my advantage, he can't touch me. However, I might not be able to touch him. So before we move on, I'm going to check our little Gangal here. She does have an item. Let's go ahead and take it. A scope lens. Well, I can't complain about that now, can I? He has an adamant nature, which isn't very good at all. In fact, it's insulting. But he has Illuminate for an ability. Wow, I ended up with a horrible first pick. And judging by the 13, I'd say my IVs are actually fairly high, which hurts even more. And it only has Lick and Sludge, but it at least has Sludge. But it doesn't have its other two moves, which is disappointing. Because I'm pretty sure I set them to start with 4 moves. Wait, Mystic, let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on. Alright, this is the tutorial battle, so I believe I'm going to go ahead and speed through this. There we go. I'll go ahead and go for Sludge. Not bad. It used some attack. I sped through some of that because Oak kept talking. Boom, hit it with another Sludge. He's gonna Tail Whip. I'm guessing he can't do anything else to me. So we've at least got that going for us. Hit it with another Sludge. Unfortunately, because our ability is Illuminate, we're actually in just a bit of trouble. Because I no longer have ground type immunity. What? Unbelievable, I picked the wrong Pokemon. Yes, and blah blah blah, explaining the rules. Mystic Gramps, smell you later. Your grandson's a prick. Anyway, that's out of the way. The beginning of the game is always extremely slow, but before I step into the grass, I should mention one thing. My Nuzlocke has not actually begun. Getting knocked out here does not mean the end of the run. You see, a Nuzlocke doesn't officially begin until you receive your very first Pokeballs, which we have not. This is horrible. I guess we have to go for Lick. Oh, we get the paralysis on the first Lick. That's always good. Please don't hit me with an Earth move. And it does, of course. Why wouldn't it? And let's lower my accuracy while we're at it. Off to a great start. Well, there's a crit to make up for it. See ya, Fampy. Boom, Gangal grows to level 7. Always good. Glad to see some stat raises everywhere. But yes, losing here does not mean the end of the run. At least not yet. Here we go. Fresh potion. I still remember some of the things that happened in Gen 1, all the little tidbits, potions, things like that. Well, I shouldn't say all, because chances are I'll miss something later down the line, and I will regret those words. Alright, Lick is a crit. Scratch doesn't affect Gangal. Go for another Lick. And that's pretty much it. See ya. So, for future episodes, I'm probably going to be I learned Harden. Alright then. For future episodes, I will more than likely be skipping through the wild encounter battles and really focusing on trainer battles. This Illuminate ability is really starting to rub me the wrong way. It really is. We're more than high enough level. We're gonna go ahead and just run from a lot of these. But yes, I'll be focusing more on trainer battles than wild Pokemon battles, as I doubt you want to sit there and watch me level grind to get my Pokemon's levels up. There we go, heal Gengal. Lovely, lovely. Unless, of course, you want to see me level grind, to which you just let me know in the comments below, and I will gladly do so. Hey, you came from Pallet Town. You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Can you take it to him? Well, I suppose you're just shoving it in my face. I don't really have a choice now, do I? Alright, I guess we're running errands for Professor Oak. Professor Oak? Because English is my first language, I swear. You know, I never noticed it before, but there's cutoff right there. I can understand by the tree, but on the other side of it, it doesn't quite look very neat. Yeah, that doesn't look neat at all. I suppose having spent so much time messing with edits and things like that, I'm a little, I wouldn't say anal about it, but when I see those little cutoffs from professionals, I can't help but wonder why it is that some of my peers have to throw such a hissy fit over things like that in fan art. It does disturb me it does disturb me so, almost as much as this shit-ninja ruining my day. But you know what? I have Lick, so go away. Bye now. Bye-bye. Actually, with abilities randomized, I probably could have hit him with anything. Who knows what shit-ninja has. Oh, Mystic, I skipped over your text. Well, it seems to be growing more attached to you. Probably something about your Pokemon. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What's that? You have something for me? Here's your Pokeball. Ah, it's the custom Pokeball. I had it on order, thank you. Why can't we order Pokeballs? I've always wondered that. Gramps, I almost forgot. What did you call me for?
Oh, right. I have a request for you two. On this desk there is my invention, the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Mystic and Hero, take these with you. You can't get detailed data on Pokemon just by seeing them. You must catch them to obtain complete data. So here are some tools for catching wild Pokemon.
Oh, we just received our Pokeballs. Our lock has officially begun.
When a wild Pokemon appears, it's fair game. Just throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it. This won't always work, however. A healthy Pokemon can escape. You have to be lucky to make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream, but I'm too old. I can't get the job done. So, I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history.
Alright, Gramps, leave it all to me. Mystic, I hate to say it, but you won't be necessary for this. I know, I'll borrow a tile map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one, Mystic. Don't bother coming around to my place after this. Well, if anyone didn't know, that's a direct invitation to go to his place. As if that wasn't obvious. Thank you, Daisy. Now, we have our Pokeballs. Now is when the Nuzlocke truly begins. And in this case, the Wedlocke. Now, as for encounters in the Wedlocke, my encounter doesn't count unless it is a Pokemon of a different type and a different gender from Gengal. And Gengal's primary type is Ghost, so I can catch anything that isn't Ghost or female. So let's see what we get. And our first encounter is a Swallow. Oh, but it is female, so we get to bypass this encounter. So we can go on and head through here. And, ooh, a Torchic, and it's male. I suppose our first encounter here is going to be a Torchic then. Let's go ahead and use, Lick and hope for the paralysis. Nope. Hyper Fang, but it doesn't affect Gengal. Okay, so another Lick would likely KO. And my special attack is higher, so Sludge will definitely KO. Alright, let's see. You know what? I just realized this is Gen 3. Having a physical Gengar is actually better. Let's begin with throwing our Pokeballs here. And let's hope we capture. I'll go ahead and speed this up a bit. Alright, so it doesn't appear to want to go into the Pokeball. It has Flame Wheel. I'm running out of Pokeballs. If I don't catch this thing, I'm actually pretty much screwed. There, yeah, well. I guess we don't get an encounter on Route 1. That's painful. And with this Illuminate ability, I'm going to run to 1,000,000 Pokemon. That's fantastic. Can't say I'm not disappointed because I severely am. Having a Blaziken on the team would have been fantastic. But, alas, it would not stay in the Pokeballs. I hate Illuminate so much. And this is insult to injury too, so that's lovely. I really, really hate Illuminate. I think it's like 1.5 times more likely to get you an encounter, something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but it is highly, highly irritating. Let's go help and heal up Gengal here. That is disappointing to say the least. I'm actually a little heartbroken. That would have been a fantastic addition to the team. Well, let's go ahead and buy some things here. We'll buy 10 Pokeballs here. And the rest we will spend on potions. So that we are now broke as all get out. Well, we do have another encounter coming up right over here. So why don't we go ahead and try and find something to catch. Let's hope it's something good. Here we go. Our first encounter here is Omastar. That's not bad at all. Let's go ahead and use the Lick. Okay. I don't have an item, so I don't know why it's tricking. It has Speed Boost. Oh, that is too good. And we get the Paralysis. And fully paralyzed. Okay, paralysis and full para on the first turn. Fantastic. Alright, let's go ahead and throw a Pokeball and hope that it catches. That's 2 it broke out of. That's 3 it broke out of. That's 4 it broke out of. That's 5 it broke out of. That's 6 it broke out of. That's... Oh, finally. Looks like we caught it. That took most of my Pokeballs, which is horrible. Give a nickname to Omastar? Yes. Well, Omastar, Rock, Water, and is going to be partnered with Gangal. I think the only appropriate name for this lovely, lovely creatures is Thorn. I just said creatures, didn't I? That is what I get. Thorns. There we go. So, not bad. We were able to grab our first Pokemon. We lost an encounter, but we did manage to get our hands on Thorns, who is an impish nature. He has the speed boost ability, which is interesting. And he comes with Rock Tomb, Clamp, Trick, and Rock Throw. An interesting set to say the least. This could be very, very powerful right now at the beginning of the game. So, why don't we go ahead and call this here for now. I want to thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Good day, all.